Hey, what's up, everybody? So coming to you today, and I'm not sure if you guys have been watching, but I started a podcast with a couple of my boys last weekend, and we're gonna do it on a weekly basis. It's called the Standing Eight Count Podcast, and it's hosted by my boy Ray Riz. It has me and which True Boxing and Von Blue Boxing, BLEU Boxing, as the we're on the show, we're running the show. I kind of want to give a quick explanation as to why I'm doing a podcast to begin with. Well, this was always an idea that I had, actually a dream of mine to do my own radio show and all that kind of stuff. I'm a big Howard Stern fan, so I grew up kind of wanting to be a broadcaster, sportscaster. Had kids young, so kind of wasn't able, had to hold it down and work hard for them and everything. Never really got a chance to achieve it, but with my passion always being boxing, and my boy a few years ago telling me to get on Instagram, getting on there, and then another boy told me, hey, you should go over to YouTube, get longer videos and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I'm at the point where I can consider myself somewhat of a boxing expert. And, my boy Ray, who's a casual fan, he has been ever since I've known him, since high school. He told me one day, he said, hey, what would you think about doing a podcast to cater to the casual fan who's trying to get into boxing? And I thought that was a really good idea. So I invited on my boy Von Blue Boxing. He has another, he has a YouTube channel as well, and me and him chop it up sometimes, and invited him on, and it's just been a very good chemistry. But I don't want people to look at how long it is and think that it's just a show about the in-depth workings of boxing. That's not what it is. It really is. This past week it went 1 hour and 40 minutes, but that's because we were breaking down a huge fight card with Errol Spence and Danny Garcia. That was a big topic to discuss, but those are popular guys that most people want to hear about. Then we went into a couple news stories coming up. We talked about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones and what they meant to us. And, we covered a couple really good topics, a few actually, and then we closed it out by featuring the fights that are coming up over the weekend. So, there's going to be some, that hardcore talk, but there's going to be a lot that caters to you guys. It really does. Ray is very good at asking questions that a casual fan would want to know. And me and Von Blue and I both have an extensive knowledge of boxing and what's going on and what's coming up and all that stuff to kind of give you a lot of insight on it. And it really is just a passion for boxing, and that's why I'm doing it. And I feel like Von Blue, Ray Riz, and myself really have a good rapport and a good flow on the show. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys checked it out, because I think you guys would get filled in a lot. We talk about, like I said, some cool subjects relating to boxing. We talk about some big name fighters. We just give you kind of some previews and perspective on some of the guys that are coming up. And it really is fun doing this. And we should have the video out to you guys Sunday night, Monday morning of every week, so you guys can check it out all through the week. We're going to discuss some good, at least one, a big segment on the show towards the middle is going to be Memory Lane, where we talk about, we talked about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones last week. This week coming up could be about our favorite fighters that meant something to us. We could be talking about the best knockout that we ever saw one week. We could be talking about the biggest upset that we saw, another week. So we're going to hit some good topics. We're going to talk about some big name fighters and some great fights coming up, and we're going to review and recap the fights that happen. So I really think a lot of people will be into it. I really hope they are. And I hope I hope you guys tune in. The Standing 8 Count podcast on we'll have it on here. We're doing it on Discord, but we'll have it on here for sure. And we're also thinking about bringing in some guests on to give us their viewpoint. Could be a casual fan, could be another expert. And also, I'm starting a fantasy boxing league again. We got 4 guys into it. I'd like to get 6 at least. If anybody's interested, it's very fun. I did it for about 3 or 4 years, and it was a blast. So I think if you're into boxing that much and you really want to learn, we're not even doing it for money. We're just going to do it for fun, for pride. I know one of my boys, Mike, used to just do it to try to beat me because I'm supposed to be the expert. And 1 year he almost did. So, yeah, but check it out, Standing 8 Count Podcast. I hope you guys keep enjoying YouTube boxing. Check out my boy Von Blue Boxing, VONBLEU Boxing. He's one of the co-hosts. And yeah, just check it out. That was the explanation on it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.